Hey guys, I'm just going to show you here. I had a piece of the paracord in my pocket from earlier when I was doing the video for the TP smoker, and we're going to get to that. I'm just waiting for it to cool off in better conditions. I don't want to sit out here and tend to fire. It's 93 degrees in the shade for here now. Ow, biting flies. So anyway, this is a Paiute deadfall, and this is a simple one to make. All you really need is a bit of string, or you can come up with some kind of cordage that's somewhat flexible. It needs to be able to wrap around the base there. And this one isn't the prettiest one, but it is definitely functional. I was just walking through here, and there was this big stone here, and so I just decided, you know, I've got this piece of rope in my pocket. Let's show you guys the deadfall trap. Now, this is great for small game, and this would probably work right here. It works better if you can set this up on something very flat. Like if there was a place where a tree had been cut, or a nice flat stone you could put down here, because you're crushing whatever it is between this and the ground. So however you can improvise to make that happen better, you know, go for it. But what you do, this is your trigger. I don't know all the names. These all have specific names, and stuff like that's not as relevant to me as understanding how it works and why it works. So if you want to know all the little names, that's fine, but all you need to know is this is your trigger. And I'll show you the parts of it after we set this one. What you would do is you would just put something as a bait right back in here against this end of this stick, okay? And what happens is they'll come walking through and they'll smell this. You know, you can even leave a little bit out here. Sometimes people mess up and put too much leading up to their trap. If you've got just a teeny little bit back here and you've got that 2 or 3 times over laid around out there, you're taking away your chances they're going to go here. But anyway, you put your bait, whatever, on here, and they come in and they start messing with it, and they'll start gnawing at it. I'm not even really hardly touching it now. And then when they'll come through, and when they put a little bit of pressure on there, it falls just like that, trapping them. And a lot of people have trouble setting these guys too. They're not too awful bad. Just sit in front of it, put your foot out here, raise this up, stick your foot under it like that. Alright. You need this piece here. All it is just a piece wedged off. And depending on the rock you're using and the location, this is going to all be different sizes, so I can't tell you what size to make it. And like I said, I just did this one super fast, so it's not real pretty. This is going to be your leverage. You need a notch cut in down on this end. This part's not necessary, it's just there. It wasn't in my way to use it, so I didn't waste the time or energy taking it off of there. You can make the components of this as pretty as you need, but every place you set up, it's going to be a little different. Now you can probably make these parts ahead of time and adjust them once you're out here, but I would leave them big because it needs to go in there like this with a pivot on it. And we're just going to adjust this. This is where everybody has a hard time putting the pressure on here. All right, here. Just move this stick around with that on top of it till it feels like it would hold it right in there. And I'm still going to keep some weight on it with my foot, or take a little weight off, excuse me, with my foot. Now this end of this stick on top here, I know you guys are having trouble seeing, you're going to have the paracord tied to the end of it with a piece like this, and I've whittled this down flat. It's got that flat side there, and we're going to go around the base of this. Oh, you can also see I've got it tied on one side more than the other. We're going to go around the base of this. You can cut a notch in this if you want to right here. Like I said, you can make it as pretty as you want. Go around the base of that and wrap all the way around. And see how I'm adjusting now? I've got the whole thing pretty much assembled. I know my one arm's in the way, but I've got that wrapped around there. Everything's assembled. There's tension on this. See, I'm only holding this with my thumb now. My foot's not on there, anything. Here's your trigger. Have a couple triggers ready, because the trigger's going to be changed depending on the distance between here and here on this side. You have to put pressure on this opposite side right here. I don't want to move too much because these things are pretty sensitive. So you put your trigger in there and you find a spot where it'll just kind of hold to the rock. Fairly easy. And let it go. Come on guys, I've never lied to you. One take and that's it. If I sit here and had to set this 20 times, you would have watched me set it 20 times. It's really not that hard to set one. It's like anything else. You can know it in theory and come out here and figure it out, but if you go ahead and come on out here and figure it out, there is no knowing it in theory. You know it in practice now, and you're ready. You'd have your bait on here, or if your bait was something you could put on there afterwards, it's ready to go. Breakfast. Stay Appalachian, y'all.